But a lot of people commute from Houston area and stuff, so.
Oh, it's closed?
Huh?
It's closed?
Yeah, they closed campus today based on the forecast. That's okay. Okay, so quickly, if you've had me before, this should be a review. If you've never heard of this before, you're behind in the workforce because you will need this, and I will post these slides because you should know what these are at all times. Cool. So we'll rip through these quickly and then jump in because I know those of you who've had me before should know what these are. Okay, and we'll skip quickly. Coercive power is what? What's coercive power? Huh? Yeah, do this or else, right? Okay? It's the most abused type of power there is, right? There's only a handful of types. We'll cover them quickly, okay? This is the most abused type of power. For those of you in the Corps, this is exactly what you did as sophomores because you saw other sophomores did it, and you're terrible leaders. Cool. For those of you who like or listen to Jocko Willink, if you've ever read his books, he's a Navy SEAL, he will tell you this is terrible, okay? It leads to fear, dissatisfaction, and resentment. Okay, this is very much the do this or else. Cool? You may know what's next. It's 3 semesters. Who? God damn it. Huh? We're getting there. Good. Close. That's another one. Reward power. This is more common. Also not great. Can be useful. Reward power is I'll give you something if you do something. All right? I will pay you. All right? Pretty straightforward. Pretty simple. Can be useful. Not great. If I tell you, hey guys, good job, I'll buy you pizza on Friday. Sound good? Not bad. Okay. If I do that next week and the next week and the next week, still sound good?
No.
Some of you are like, yes. Some.
I'll take free food.
Right. But and notice every time on campus it says free food. What is it always?
Pizza. Pizza rolls.
It's always pizza, right? And they don't say that anymore because they know that all you guys ever get is pizza, right? It gets old. Can be useful. Can be good. But you better increase. If we do pizza for 3 weeks, but then I offer you homemade brisket, how we doing?
Oh.
Now we're coming back, okay? Now I have to go up every time, and in like 2 months, I'm serving lobster and I'm going broke, okay? So can be useful, but often overused and not terribly effective, okay? Legitimate power in all organizations around the world. We'll talk about Zappos a little bit this semester, but more next semester. They're a little different. This is command and control structure of the military, Corps cadets, all that good stuff. It only stays with the position. The commandant leaves, he has no sway. Now, student affairs, okay? If the CEO retires, they have no sway. The power does not go with them. All it does is ensure that someone is in charge, good or bad. Hoover.
Isn't it legitimate power more of pretty much coercive power because they have that power of that position because they have the power to?
There's no guarantee they're good. So you're right. This is not necessarily a good leader. This is just a leader, right? We have someone in charge, okay? You had me before. Do we need a president of the United States?
Yes.
No.
Anarchy. Let's go. Yes.
Do we need a president?
No.
It's in the Constitution, so
When was that written, Ivan?
long time ago.
How many people lived here then?
I don't know.
Tens of thousands? How many people got? Anyway, that's a great conversation. Maybe we'll do that this semester, okay? Because it's really fun. Because some people, you're like, yep, right away. Hoover's happy for us, like, mm-mm. Maybe I made him think a little bit, all right? Okay, but if combined with the next 3, this can be good and useful, okay? Referent power, Jesus Christ.
The action.
Jesus Christ. That's who you think of for referent power. Think, yeah, Matt got it, okay? Same joke. Sam's heard this twice already, okay? This is the person who has it. Now, I will fully argue nobody's born with it. They're not. You are made. He was made.
Jesus Christ.
Had an interesting life, didn't he? Where did he go for a long time? Disappeared for a while. Probably because he was the son of God and had some shit to work out.
That's right.
Right? That's a pretty hard burden. Okay? Still developed. Okay? Now, you may have personality traits and you absolutely have genetics that factor in. Granted. You're still developed. All right? You might be super outgoing, charismatic, and all that good stuff. Doesn't mean everybody's going to like you. Right? Who's an introvert? Doesn't even want to raise your hand, do you? Oh, shit. Okay? If you're met up with an extrovert, this is true in sales, okay? We used to think in sales you had to be that super outgoing, energetic person, blah blah blah. If I'm like that and you're an introvert, what do you think? What do you think, Magnus? If I come at you over the top, super high energy, what do you like? Do you like? I do not like this dude. Okay. What you need to do to be successful is adapt to the other personality. All right. So if you find yourself in sales, do that. Okay. Good. Reference. What else we got? There's 2 more.
Oh, expert power.
All right, we're getting there. Good. This one first. Okay. This is the newest one for the psychologists who define all these. Okay. This is simply having information that others don't. This is Amazon and Netflix or YouTube. What happens when you finish watching a video?
You know,
It shows you another one, right? They're watching you. Okay? Amazon knows everything about you. Right? This is informational power. All right? Could it be positive or negative? Propaganda, knowledge of an opponent's strategy, detailed information. Okay? We used to have Nielsen ratings. We had to pay people to figure out what they watched on TV. But now everything's just on click, so it's super easy. Yes, sir?
isn't informational power to an extent kind of counterproductive? Because like in information, like asymmetry, if you go buy a car and you don't know if it's a lemon or not, it's going to lower the price that you're going to pay for the average
This
car.
is good when you have the information. So if you don't know that the car's not good, you're not an informational leader. So you need the information, all right? Which kind of plays into the next one too, all right? But good question, all right? This can absolutely be used in the workforce to help improve task processes and strategies. Oh, stats is my favorite. Who's taking stats? Good. I hate stats, all right? But I understand it a little better now. Statistics are a precise and logical method for stating a half-truth inaccurately. What does that mean?
You can use statistics.
Yeah.
You can make the numbers say whatever you want.
Yeah, okay. There's always a bell curve, right? And we can just take out the weirdos. Okay? If I want a good GPA in this class, I'll take out the cadets. Exactly, okay? See, I got you guys back. Yeah, so we'll manipulate the numbers, okay? All right, expert power. This is closely related to informational, okay? This is the type of power that is most effective. If you want to be a good leader, effective use of power is being the expert, the CFO, the CTO, the doctor, the highly skilled or trained employee, okay? This is greatly valued in leadership roles. Be the expert. I don't care what profession you go into. I don't even care what it's about. Right? Be the expert. Best way to lead. I will put these in Canvas for you guys, but you should download this and keep these, okay, forever and ever. In fact, so we covered it with the juniors last week because we took all of our time for 9/11, which I hope was beneficial for you guys. But one of them called out one of his heads. He's like, "Hey, you're just using coercive power." Because like, what? And he told him, he's like, "You're just being abusive." And he was like, "Oh, try that. Do that with your underclassmen. Okay, be fun." Questions? All right, now let's have some more fun. All right, we covered Tillman last week. Conversation about 9/11? Feedback? Was it? Okay, hope so. All right, anybody talk to anybody else about it? Good, good. Several documentaries and stuff that are out that people are watching, so that's good. You just sneeze? Bless you, man. Let that shit out. Your head's gonna explode. My sneeze is loud. All right. Oh yeah. Pop quiz. What 3 types of people tell the truth? Kids. Who else?
Drunks.
Who else?
People who don't care.
Huh?
People who don't care about your opinions.
Sometimes, yeah. Okay,
Assholes.
People who are really mad. Okay, that's when it'll come out. Right? That's who tells the truth. Okay, I can't. You need to call your parents and apologize because I guarantee you said some shit. Right? Embarrass people. Right? Say the wrong things. Okay, it's horrible. Yeah. Here's how we listen. Do you know why why we didn't use FaceTime and Skype and all that for a long time? We've had the technology for that for years. Why didn't we use it, Connor?
Oh, well, you gave me the answer last semester.
Yeah, well, I'm asking if you remember. This is good.
Because people didn't want to be taught
Yeah, if you FaceTime with somebody, you can tell if they're paying attention, right? If you're sitting in class and you're on your phone, are you paying attention? No, I can tell. You're not even looking at me, right? Can you multitask?
No.
No. Not sure? Rarely. Yeah? Okay. Really, you can't. You just shift from one thing to the other. If they ask you in a job interview, can you multitask? What do you say?
Of course.
Yes. Yes, I can. Okay. But you can't. All right? And then again, the meme there. Okay. Who do we lie to the most? Ourselves. And then who?
Everyone else.
What'd you say?
Everyone else.
Your parents. How's school going? Great. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Good. I mean, we lie all the time, right? I'll do it tomorrow. Right? I'll get up early. I'll study more. I'll do better next time. No, you won't. You're a horrible person. Okay, right, my man. Okay, at least we know it. All right. Excuses are like assholes, right? Everybody has one. Everybody else's stinks. Okay? Exempt. Holy shit. Anyone? Oh, yeah. I was about to say that. Okay? Why don't you know that?
I don't think I've ever seen that.
Say that again.
That was a Campo, wasn't it?
It wasn't, was it?
No.
Was this ever a Campo?
No.
We had a card.
Yeah, it's part of mine.
So
It was everybody's.
in like the cadence, I remember before I came to A, I want you to look over this stuff because they're gonna ask you about it. I was like, okay. And I remember seeing that, and I obviously had no idea.
3 years. Yeah, no idea what honor means. Good job. For the core. Okay, good. So you're going to teach your fish now?
Hold it. I know water when I see it. I don't have to have a definition to know when someone's acting dishonest.
Okay, let's unpack this, Connor McMahon. What does that say? Break it down for me.
Unwavering commitment to sound moral values.
No, I can read it. What does it say to you?
That says to me somebody who acts, with their person as they walk through, has, an just a straight character about them. They don't try and slide in, on the side of things. They don't try and get around having to do things. And when they do act, they act correctly. They don't try and don't get by on technicalities.
All right, so we're talking about a pretty ideal cadet.
Yeah.
Person. Okay? What percentage of the core falls under that category?
Basically,
I don't know, I think more than we actually give credit. I think there's a lot of good cadets. I mean, we joke about it.
You guys are great people. You're shitty, but you're great people. I mean, really, most of you are great. It's hard to get into A&M. How many of you high school was a breeze? Most of you, right? You made it here, right? How'd it go fish year, freshman year? Okay. How many of you it hit you sophomore year? What happened, Hannah?
Is it being responsible of other people was kind of a wake-up call for me.
Yeah, so now we're in charge of other people. We're not a freshman anymore. Classes get harder as you go along. Sometimes it depends. Some of them get easier because you get more into the stuff you care about. I don't understand why courses freshman year are so challenging. This is nationwide across universities. I freaking hate it.
Weed out classes.
They're weed out classes. That's a horrible thing, in my opinion. And the first generation college students in this country is still almost 25%. It's about 23, 24%. No different in the A&M. And yet we're trying to weed out freshmen because we're not teaching them how to get through school. I'm going to fix it. Give me some time. Okay? I don't like it. All right? But that's what happens. Okay? You don't do well freshman year a lot of the time, and it hits you between the eyes. You're like, oh, wait, I can't just, cruise by. Right? Some of you still did, right? And you did okay, depending on majors and all that good stuff. Okay? So, almost none. How many, Matt? My optimist?
50%.
Huh?
50%.
Half of you guys have this. Nope. Okay, where are we at? So we're between 0 and 50. The answer is not 0. I'd be surprised if it's that high. But what is this saying? Nolan?
What is it saying?
Yeah, what is this saying?
We just don't know. We haven't talked about it.
Bingo! What? Who defines the values? Huh?
We do?
You do. Your own values. Okay? Non-regs, totally different, right? Might be the same. You might have the exact same values, right? You don't know. And then how many of you can actually define your own values? How many of you have written them down?
Well, there's somewhere.
Some of you that I've had before should have, okay? Just because I make you, all right? But most of you don't. Have you done it on your own?
I've done it on my own.
Good. How many other people have done that? A couple of you, okay? Good. Yeah. I hope so, all right? You know how you are. You know what you like and don't like, what you believe and don't believe. Most of you haven't put it down on paper, right, or typed it out or whatever, and I would encourage you to do that because they're all different. They're absolutely all different. Who defines strong character? What's strong character? Physically strong? Mentally? You're laughing? I got the basic training at the Air Force. We had a kid who couldn't do a push-up. Lost my shit. You came to basic training, couldn't do a push-up? He looked like Napoleon Dynamite, too. We called him Napoleon. It was painful. But this is pretty general, right? Okay, we'll get into it. Ready? Now, again, some of you have had me before. And this follows on 9/11. There's a reason we're going to do this exercise. Okay? Post 9/11, similar situation. Civilian jet scrambles, or civilian jet takes off, gets hijacked, as far as we know. There's 250 civilians on board. Mostly Americans, not all of them. All right? We think it's hijacked. We scramble an alert jet that's armed. Okay? We put you behind the jet, and we okay, we think there's terrorists on board. We think it's headed for a high-value target that's going to take out more people. Are you going to shoot down the airliner? No? Who said no? Matt said no. What's your? Devin, that's right. Okay. No, why not, Devin?
I don't think I can pull that trigger.
Isn't the blue and white Air Force?
Oh, no, I'm being free. This is just a R. Simpson report.
Okay, sorry, just checking. Okay, I don't know all of them. RVs, right? Okay, cool. I'm learning. Okay, you're not going to do it. Why not?
I just don't see myself being able to pull the trigger.
Okay. All right. We put you in the jet. We're asking you to do it. Not going to do it? Not going to follow the order.
I probably wouldn't be in the jet.
Yeah.
Fair enough. But here's where we are. And this is a job interview question. Now, military, but why? Why not, Lincoln?
Oh, I said yes.
Oh, who else was no? Matt.
Exact same reason.
You're just not going to do it.
No.
Not going to be there. Don't want to do it. You
I
want to be a
forgot.
congressman?
Yeah.
Do you know what happens when we go to war?
Yeah, I'm sort of against,
Casualties.
I'm sort of an isolationist though.
Okay, fair enough. All right. But this question is going to come up in your career.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Who else doesn't know? Who's it? You're doing it?
Me?
Yeah. Why?
Well, have you heard of the trolley problem?
This is like people on the train?
Where there's like train tracks and there's a trolley coming in and there's one person tied down. and
Correct.
There's 5 people tied down and you can like switch the lever to.
Same example.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you're taking out the 250 to save the masses.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Who else?
Or yes.
Huh?
Or yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Why? Danny?
Same reason.
Okay. Patrick?
Same reason also because even though I'm in the jet and it's unfortunate, I won't actually see the people, so it's easier to listen to orders in that situation, knowing that at least what you're doing then is going to save more lives. So it kind of dissociates you from the actual conflict.
Okay. So you are justifying what you're doing, right? You're flipping the switch to say, I'm going to take out the 250 people, as painful as that is, because they might take out a building with 1,000 people.
Yes.
Okay, cool, Matt?
We also have no idea if it, like, we might think it's hijacked, but we don't know for certain, so we could just be killing 250 people.
Who still wants to ask questions? Okay, what are your questions? Kyle, right?
Yeah.
Okay, what are your questions?
I'd like a little more than we think it's terrorists. We think it might be hijacked. But what I was going to say is, if the situation was flipped, and you had some scenario where there was masses going to die, unless, so 250 people were gonna die,
Mhm.
unless you killed masses, you wouldn't ever pull that trigger. So, kind of, why would you not just take the action to do it? It's just people not wanting to take the action, if that makes sense.
Okay, so, so
The
what
situation was
are you
flipped.
doing? What are you doing?
Pulling trigger.
You're gonna do it?
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
cool.
hopefully get some more answers first, but.
Okay,
when
well,
it comes
what are
down
your
to
questions?
pulling trigger,
What are your questions?
Do we know it's terrorists? What are the
We've
plans?
confirmed the plane is hijacked.
Okay. Are they gonna kill more people than are on board?
We suspect they are heading to a high-value target to take out more people. Pulling it, okay? Sam?
Well, I mean, it's, even if they do crash into wherever they're going, well, most likely all of them on board are gonna die. That's one thing. Then the second thing, kinda like on Flight 93, they figured out that they were being hijacked, that they sacrificed their own lives to do that. I feel like a somewhat ethical person would do that in that situation, so.
Okay.
I think the people on board would not want that to happen, but like would be, sounds bad to say, but like be okay with it.
Who's fine dying so no one else gets hurt?
Oh, shoot.
Okay, interesting. What'd you have? You have your hand up?
Is someone I love or family?
No, you don't know anybody on board.
Okay. That was my question.
So what are you doing? Why does it matter?
Because that's just more of a dilemma.
Why?
It adds pressure.
This is a high-pressure situation.
Right. It even adds more to it.
Okay, well, what if they're headed towards your city?
My city,
Yeah.
Orange, Texas. Bye, Orange, Texas.
Jeez.
We don't need.
They're headed to
Orange.
Kyle Field during the game.
Well, they're not freaking up Kyle Phil and pulling a trigger.
Is that what switched you?
Yes.
Okay,
Orange,
Danny?
Texas is a swamp. Kyle Field's a gorgeous statue. All right.
I know my reasons are personal, but
Everyone should be.
it's like, yeah, but in terms of like shooting down the plane, is there a possibility that if you shoot down the plane, you could cause more collateral damage that would injure or kill more?
What we suspect is it's worth the risk. Yeah, there might be more damage, but we suspect it's far more valuable because we're over Orange, Texas, and we're not in College Station yet. So what are you doing? What does that matter to you? Why are you asking?
I don't know, I was just wondering,
Why are you wondering?
in terms of just more information.
Okay, so we're still in the jet, Danny. It's headed to Kyle Field. It's probably gonna hurt some people on the ground, but far less than we suspect. Where you at?
Yeah, like I said, I'm probably not in the jet.
Still not, okay, but what you are, hypothetically, are you pulling the trigger or not?
I don't know.
Okay, Matt?
Are we able to evacuate the place that's being targeted?
Not in time, no. It's gotta go. We don't have time. What does that have to do with anything? Why? Where are you at?
Because then if you can evacuate the place that's being targeted, then you definitely don't have to.
Well, and we're also guessing. We're guessing what the target is. But if we're going off the playbook, we think that they're headed for a high value target. It's gonna take out a lot more people. Pulling the trigger or not?
I don't know, it's hard.
No shit.
They're probably gonna die regardless.
It's supposed to be hard. What?
They're gonna die. If the plane hits something, they're gonna die.
Okay. Where's my pilot?
I was about to say, they're gonna die regardless, like, I mean, if it's gonna take out thousands of people versus 250, why would you take out the 250, they're gonna die anyway. It's.
Now, we're also going off a guess here.
I understand that, but if it's an order, you kind of have to follow.
Okay? Patrick?
I guess it's kind of similar, but how long until, assuming we don't shoot down the plane, would impact?
We don't know, but we suspect we got about 15, 20 minutes to figure it out.
So it's definitely not enough time to evacuate it already.
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
Do you remember trying to get into Kyle Field last weekend?
I'll still stand by my answer then.
Okay. Matt, what do you got?
I think the problem with like the situation is that if you're shooting it down, you're putting more value on the other people's lives than you are the ones in the plane. If we don't know for sure that they're gonna die, then you're saying that the other people's lives are more valuable than theirs. And I think that's just
Are we discussing value or are we quantity?
But we don't know for sure if the quantity's in it. I just
No, you
I
don't.
need to be certain.
No, you don't. So what does it matter? Let's say it's a bunch of physicians who are going to do Doctors Without Borders and save other people on the plane.
Say that again.
So let's say it's a bunch of physicians who are going to another country to help out and give free medical care that are on the plane. Okay, what if it's a bunch of criminals?
I don't know. People deserve a second chance, in my opinion.
You don't know, right? Okay, what do you got, Nolan?
So I'd probably have a separate team asking, just because we don't know.
You
I'd
can ask
want-
whatever questions you want.
I'd want all the information on the pilot and the co-pilot regarding health, where they're at, where their family was.
Okay, good. We lost contact with the pilot and co-pilot, but the last thing we got is communication from them that the plane was hijacked.
So that's the last thing they said?
That's the last thing we got from the pilot, co-pilot. They've confirmed through radio. We don't have contact with them anymore, but they confirmed that the plane was hijacked.
So he's not just sleeping.
Correct.
He's not just.
I'm done. Alright.
You're done what? What are you doing?
Oh, I'm still pulling trigger.
Okay, Emily?
So in this scenario, like them being able to get in touch with the terrorists themselves.
Correct. So good question. Okay, work through the problem here. Right. Some of you were like, "Meh, trigger, done." Fair enough. Okay. So same thing. Pilot gave us information that it's been hijacked, using a code word. Okay. So we confirm that it's hijacked. We can no longer get in touch with the pilot or co-pilot. What do you want to know?
Well, I guess my first reaction would be to see if we could get in touch with the hijackers, but also at the same time, for 9/11, they said that they were going to be fine, everyone on board was going to be fine, and then they crashed the plane.
Okay. Cool. We cannot get in touch with people who hijacked the plane. What are you doing?
I'm trusting my intelligence.
Okay. Cool.
Was it kind of, if whenever they hijacked it, is the plane burned? Kind of where is it going?
Mostly staying on course.
Okay, you kind of draw a line, see where.
Right, and that's why we suspect it's going to a high value target over a populated area.
Is there someone else on board besides the possible hijackers or pilots that can communicate, like an air marshal or something?
We could try to get in touch with the flight attendants. We've been unsuccessful so far. What are you doing?
Still the same.
Okay.
I kind of feel like you wait until kind of the last minute we're above that big civilian area,
Okay. Why?
because if you, like, give them a chance to, the crew members or whatever, to fight back, try to recover,
Okay.
you'll kind of wait till the last, like, available minute before those lives are for sure moved.
Okay. Sam.
I would be against that just because I would wait till like where the path is going to find like the least populated area to shoot them out so we can find the
Okay. Cool.
least amount of damage.
When I was interviewing for a pilot position with the Air Force, they asked me this question, and this was right after 9/11. Why?
Might have been put in that situation.
What did they want to know?
Where you're emotional, I guess, if you think with your heart or your head or your
Wonder if you do it.
Would you?
Danny's not pursuing this position. He's probably not going to be there.
That's Devin, I'm thinking.
Sorry, Devin. Sorry. God dang, getting close. I haven't had you guys for. Okay. Devin may not be there. Okay. None of you. I hadn't been through training yet. Right? They're going to train you what to do or not. They're going to train you how to handle it. But why are they asking? You're right. Why are they asking?
They want to know if you're going to follow orders, but they're also going to wonder if you have like some, where your ethics lie.
Yeah. You know what I kept doing? Asking questions. Cal's like, screw them, man. They're done.
I feel like the thing is whenever a question gets asked like that, I feel like it's kind of like a hypothetical thing. It's just like, would you do this with this information? What we gave you is what we have. So
Right.
In a real situation, they would tell you that. They would.
Yeah, with it, we're working off a real situation. And what Matt was trying to figure out was who's on board? Where are they going? What's the target? Do we know? That's exactly what I was doing, was asking information. And they kept giving it to you until they were like, here's, and I was, so what I did was, what do we know? Matt, what do we know? Well, we know it's been hijacked. Okay? We suspect it's going for a target. We suspect it's going to be like 9/11, but we don't know for sure. Okay? Can I communicate with the pilot? Not anymore. Okay? All they wanted to see was how I handled it. They're going to ask you questions, not this severe in the civilian world, unless you want to be physicians. Okay? Some of you are going to have some of these hard conversations. All right? And you're going to have to decide what to do. They want to simply see how you handle it.
I feel like they should ask how would you handle that instead of.
It is a how you would handle it.
Yeah. Besides, would you shoot it down or not makes it seem like a yes or no question. Like the finality that you asked it with.
It is a yes or no question.
Yeah. Without any other like
But that tells me about you, and that's fine.
Yeah.
If you want to be a pilot and they're going to ask you this question and you say, yes, I'm going to do it, then they learn something about you. You're probably going to follow the order. Okay? If Matt has questions, we learn about Matt. And it's okay, because they still have to train you. They are hypothetical, but this is going to happen in the workforce. They're going to ask you questions just to see how you handle it. It's not always about the answer. It's a yes or no question, right? It's a freaking hard one, isn't it? Should be, okay, to some extent, all right? Some of you don't like people and you're going to do it anyway. We'll see, okay? All right. When you are in a severe situation, okay, and this is true for the military, I went through POW camp. Not fun. Not fun. The only time in the Air Force where they can put their hands on you, okay? They can slap you from the shoulder over, or they can backhand you in the stomach, right? And it's not fun, a lot of the stuff you go through. Some of it's super hilarious, not fun at the time, okay? So what we were taught, and this is true, okay, is to tell the truth. Do not lie. It gets far worse if you're deceptive. Now, this is an important life skill and something you should do when applying for jobs. You don't have to tell the whole truth. All right? I think Connor got into this once. Okay, when you're applying for jobs, if you're doing it through software, they're just matching words. It is soft. There's 10 million jobs open right now in this country. Okay, and if you apply and you're qualified, you're going to get a rejection letter. And you're like, what the hell? Because software is just matching keywords, unfortunately. And I've heard students will put those keywords in white font and little tiny text size on your cover letter, right? So you can't physically see it, but the software will get it. Okay. Don't lie.
It's not lying, but you're also qualified.
Right. But you don't have to tell the whole truth, okay? Connor's trying to be a nuclear engineer, okay? Knows a lot of cool shit, all right? But don't lie about what you don't know. Right? It only gets worse. And this is true in severe situations. Okay? Because where can you find honor? Right? If you're in this dire situation, and you can study when it happened in Vietnam and the Gulf War, all right, when people were in POW camp, everyone has a breaking point. Everyone. All right? Have you seen Deadpool? His buddy's like, I'll tell you whatever you want to know, just don't hurt me. Okay. Some of us are there. Some of us, can go the far end of the spectrum because we're pretty tough. But everybody has a breaking point. All right? You still need to be able to find honor, and this is true in your life. Sometimes you have bad days, right? Sometimes you're dishonest. Right? We lied to our parents. School's awesome, getting great grades. Everything's, yeah, oh yeah, me and my girlfriend are still together. Okay, whatever it is, right? You're going to have bad days. But try to find the honor in what you did do right. Try to find the good thing that you did today. Okay? Because that's going to balance you out. We all have bad days. We all have bad moments. We all have breaking points, and we all have weak moments. The point is to try and find the honor in what you did do well. Okay? Every day is new and fresh. When is being right wrong? Connor?
Earlier when we were saying who are the three truthful people? When you're really pissed off, you're telling the truth and you're right, but you're doing it so be a prick.
Yeah. Okay. Hoover?
I was just gonna say when is being right or wrong? I guess I could kind of dissect that into how you evaluate sort of a moral decision, which is the intention, the action itself, and the consequences of the action.
Okay.
So if
Do you have
the
an example?
intention is, so if I'm gonna lie to you about whether or not I did the reading,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Which you all lie about.
If I wanted to lie to you about whether or not I did the reading, that's not a good example. Shit.
Well, hold on, because it might be. How many of you screwed up when you were in high school and you're a teenager and you're kind of a shit? How many of you screwed up? Right? How many times? Remember when your parents didn't yell at you? And they just went, I'm not mad. Just disappointed. Was that worse? Why, Devin?
I just said who did that to me one time this year.
Yeah.
It's like,
It's brutal, right? That's way worse, okay? You're like, no, just yell at me, okay? Same thing in the real world, okay? I can yell at you, and it might have an impact, all right? But can I really get to the root of the problem and be like, well, do you like my class or not? Do you want to do well or not? So why didn't you do the reading? How are you going to feel about that if I'm just like, oh, screw it, Hoover, you're a jerk,
Yeah.
okay?
Different.
Okay, good. And back to Connor's example. Remind me what you just said?
Oh, when you like are really, really pissed off.
Yeah, okay, when you're mad. So if you get in a fight, if you're in an argument, boyfriend, girlfriend, mom, dad, whatever, okay, buddy, whoever. If you get in an argument, like you're in a heated argument, your brain reverts to like reptile level intelligence. This is a true statement. And men, we're dumb anyway. We are simple, dumb creatures, okay? Women, extremely complicated. We don't understand you. But we're too stupid to, okay? And that's our fault, all right? But in that situation, you might say something really mean, right? Which is terrible, okay? You don't want to do it. So, yeah, that example can absolutely play out there. Here's where it comes into your lives in the workforce more often than not. Sometimes you can't win the argument, even if you're right, if you're morally right, if you're ethically right, right? Sometimes you can't win because the person is in charge. You're going to have a supervisor that didn't get it right or treated you wrong or treated your team wrong or took credit or whatever. What they did was wrong, but you're in a lower position and you can't win the battle, all right? 25-year-old Darren would pick the fight he can't win. Right? The older I've gotten, the more I've realized when you should and shouldn't do that. Sometimes you just can't win the fight. But you should still pick it so that your subordinates know that you fought for them or your teammates know or your buddies know. You're not going to win the fight, but you're going to make the case in public. You're going to make it so that your team sees that you fought for them, whether you got it right or not. That's a hard thing to do. Most of us won't do that. But sometimes it just doesn't matter that you're right. You got to take your lumps. Right? That is a hard thing to know and recognize. And it sucks. Let me tell you, it sucks. Right? It's not fun. But can we live to fight another day? Or do I need to go to get another job? I mean, it comes down to that. Right? Questions on that? That makes sense? Cool. All right. Do you have to earn respect from others?
Yes.
You don't have to. It's not a requirement.
Yes, don't have to. What do we have? Did I hear no? No?
To be a leader, yeah.
Maybe. Maybe not. We just learned if you have legitimate power, you're in a person in position.
I think it helps, but you don't have to.
It helps, but you don't have to. Okay. Why not? Why not, Hoover?
Same thing with legitimate leader.
Okay.
Hitler probably wasn't respected.
Who?
Hitler, by a lot of people. They probably saw that he was an evil, like, dude. Pretty
Love
early
when
on.
people bring up Hitler. Was Hitler a good leader?
No, he wasn't a good leader. He just relied on the legitimate
Who
power of
thinks
the
Hitler was a
position.
good leader? Why? Why, Hannah? I haven't heard from you today.
Because he accomplished like what he wanted, he rallied a nation behind him. Whether he did what he did was terrible, but was he able to round up people to execute a plan and to follow through on it?
Execute a plan, he did.
Dude,
Execute
plan.
people. Was he a good leader? What are you hemming and hawing about? Hold on. Just pay attention because everybody's having similar thoughts. Was he a good leader?
I think in some regards, if you look at it like a legit,
Wait a minute. Why are we now separating some regards?
because if you do how he treated his people, no. But how he followed through on his plan, I would say probably yes.
So you're separating success from being a good leader.
Depends on what aspect.
Can you separate the fact that he killed millions of people from what he did for Germany? Then was he a good leader? No. How many elections did Hitler win?
0.
Thank you. 0.
Didn't he win like a?
He was appointed. Never won an election. What do you got, Emily?
Could you say he was an effective leader but not a good leader?
Sure, but that wasn't the question, was it? I love you guys. I love you guys. You will always try to separate out, which is what most of you do. You guys were raising your hands. He was a good leader. No, he was an asshole. He was a terrible leader. He was a terrible tactician, right? He was blitzkrieging across Europe and totally dominating, and he pulled back when they had the advantage. Why?
To kill more people for the Holocaust.
Nope. Why? Do you know what happened in Scandinavia, across those countries? You know why I pulled him back? If you don't know, that's okay. His generals didn't get his permission. That's how big his ego was. Totally screwed up. Had the advantage, had surprise, was flying across Europe, dominating countries. He's like, oh, pulled back. I didn't tell you you could go yet. Terrible leader, right? And a vegetarian, so that'll tell you. And a painter, which means he was going, paint the tree. Damn, I can't get the trees. I will kill everyone in the world. No, that's pretty funny. Okay. Get off topic. I always like to talk about Hitler because you guys bring up kind of how you did, and that's okay. What do you got, Devin?
I was gonna say, in terms of earning respect, the idea that, I don't know, I try to distinguish trust, me trusting someone, like earning someone's trust, earning someone's respect. I feel like people should just be treated with dignity because they're people.
Yeah, okay. So you guys are split on this, and that's why we're talking about it. Some of you think you have to earn respect. Some of you don't. Some of you give it, right? No matter what, right? I will give my respect to anyone until you lose it. Then it's really hard to get back. One of the easiest things for us to remember, any psych majors in here? We have one or two, okay? One of the easiest things for us to remember is betrayal. Hoover's my buddy. We've known each other for years. He's said and done 1,000 good things. He's told me the truth 1,000 times. And then one time he screws me over. Right? This is the Amazon reviews. Okay? There's 3,000 Amazon reviews with 4.5 stars. And you'll find the one negative review and use that piece of information and be like, oh, I'm not going to buy it. 3,000 people said it's good. But that's just what we do. We find the information that justifies our actions. Okay? When George Washington crossed the Delaware, did it look like that? Hell no. If he was standing up in the boat, I would have hit him with an oar. Okay, we're going to fall over. It's freezing ass cold. All right? Was George Washington a great leader?
Yeah.
Some of you are afraid to say anything now. Huh?
I really don't know enough about how he treated people.
He screwed up tremendously when he was first put in charge. And he was of British descent, and he wanted to be a British officer, and he couldn't afford it. Flip sides. That's all. Okay? Screwed up at first. And he was big and tall and very good looking. Did well at parties. Poorly educated. He was, okay, first. Now, he read a lot, which is why he read a lot his whole life, because he couldn't afford the education that the founding fathers he was hanging out with were super well educated. Benjamin Franklin, not good looking, freaky dude. Okay? George, handsome and charming. Okay? Not very intelligent, right? George actually became kind of a jerk. A lot of his troops did not like him. All right? He did not show humility. And before they're going across the Delaware, they didn't know this, his eyes weren't that good when he was reading, and he pulled out a pair of glasses to read something to them. It was the first time they saw humility out of him. Changed their perspective.
Like just admitting he couldn't do something.
What's that?
Like admitting he couldn't do something.
It was showing the fact that he wasn't perfect at everything. That he wasn't just this big, tall, domineering, great general. Right? And he kind of did treat everybody that way. And realized that he was losing morale. What do you got? Andres, do you have your hand up?
Didn't they want to make him like president for like?
Yeah.
It was Alexander.
Yeah, he was also, no, they wanted
Alexander
they wanted him to keep
wanted-
going. Yeah, they wanted him to stay in office, but he wanted term limits. And the founding fathers wanted term limits for everybody. But Washington also didn't think we should have political parties.
He was right there.
That lasted for.
That didn't last very long.
Right. We can get into that another time. We're going to run out of time. Okay. Can your pride get in the way of honor?
Yes.
Yes. Often does. Often does. Same thing when you're arguing with your boyfriend or girlfriend. All right. And have you ever been arguing with somebody over text or in a conversation, whatever, and they make a really good point? Do you ever stop and be like, oh, that's a good point?
That's where we bring out screenshots.
No, you just get mad, right? Or you stop the conversation. You say, you're an idiot, and you stop talking. No, we never do that. Okay? It's okay. It's 100% okay. Most of us don't ever do that, right? Don't be afraid to do that. Does humility fit in?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it does. Okay. So, what do you do when your integrity is at stake? Danny,
You do the right thing,
which is what? What do you do?
which is doing what you know you should do, what you're asked to do. and
What do
then
you do, Danny, when your integrity is at stake personally?
in what regard?
What would you do if I questioned your integrity? What if I said, I don't really believe you did the reading and you just made some shit up on the assignment?
Like, okay, test me.
Okay, good. I'll take it. Right? Good example. Okay? What else?
You can generally just defend it,
Huh?
You just defend it. I mean, show, like, if someone's questioning it, show them, like, so, like you're saying, just show them that you're right and they're wrong.
Okay.
I can cancel you on social media.
Yeah, we just type out mean things. Hoover, what do you got?
I just accept it. Because
You
like,
accept it?
Yeah,
If I
I
que-
accept it.
Hoover, you're a lying piece of shit.
Yeah. and I find
Is that effective sometimes? Yeah, kinda. Does it matter what I think about Hoover?
No.
No. Okay, now it might, if I'm his boss, it might impact him. We gotta figure that out. But if he doesn't care, I'm like, oh, can't hurt him. Okay, we'll do something else, passive aggressively.
Can I ask why?
Why? What?
About that.
Yeah. Okay. I just don't like you.
Okay, and then that's where you
That's
just
good.
accept
That's
it.
good.
Okay, cool. What else? Huh?
Like kind of with that, like the, okay, yeah, me neither.
Okay.
I don't like the, yeah, me neither, kind of humor and kind of try to laugh off and try to like kind of broach it as like the, kind of find out like the why and the, whatever, like, what did I do to you, or are you just a dick? Like,
Okay. Yeah.
if it's your problem, I really don't give a shit. Like,
How much of this happens in the core that's passive aggressive?
Oh, a lot.
Oh my
God. Way more.
Is that how you should handle things in the workforce?
No.
It's a genuine problem. It doesn't stop. I hate to tell you. People will not like you. People don't like me. And I'm awesome. Okay? But it's a hard thing to deal with. All right? We're going to run out of time, so we'll figure it out. But, and I'll get the discussion post up for the week. And questions for me?
Is chapter 2 better than chapter 1?
I'll let you decide.
Okay.
We'll keep going. Cool. Questions? Good to go? Go have a wonderful week. Go be awesome.